It's a race full of speed, spills, and sometimes heartbreak. These were the scenes from this year's World Solar Challenge. It's part race, part science show, where high school and uni students from heaps of different countries build a solar car from scratch. Then they race it 3,000 k's from Darwin to Adelaide. The cars are only allowed to be on the road between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m, and at night, teams have to find a good place to camp on the side of the road. It's kinda obvious why. The cars run on sunlight. These solar panels absorb the energy from the sun and convert it into an electric current that powers the car. The event was originally inspired by these two guys, Hans Tholstrup and Larry Perkins. Tholstrup was really into finding different ways of powering cars because he was worried that fuel would eventually run out. So he joined forces with Perkins and created the Quiet Achiever. That's this thing. In 1983, they became the first people to drive from Perth to Sydney in a solar car. And a few years later, in 1987, Hans Tholstrup invited the rest of the world to join the challenge.
Everybody can drive down the road on sunshine.
In the early days, solar power was kinda unusual, so these teams were doing groundbreaking work, even if the cars did look a bit like science experiments. Fast forward 32 years and the race has changed a lot. This year, a record 53 teams entered from 24 countries, and there was a lot of drama. Dutch team Vattenfall were the favourites to win, having won 7 races before, including the last 3 in a row. But on the final day, disaster struck. The car caught on fire, and while the driver was okay, the car obviously wasn't. One of the other favourites also ran into a bit of trouble when heavy winds caused a crash.
Everyone is okay, our driver is okay, so I'm very happy with that. That's the first thing that was important.
There was also some nasty weather at night, which made things kinda uncomfortable. But the race went on, and in the end, it was the Belgium team Agoria that took out the Challenger title.
The car did very well, the team did good, the pilots were amazing, so it feels crazy to be here as first.
But that's not the only part of the event. There's also a cruiser class, which is more about creating practical cars that could be used by people in the future. Unlike the speedy models, these ones are designed for comfort and reliability. And some reckon that one day we could all be driving around in cars like these.
I really hope that by doing this as a bunch of mostly students, we can show the world what is possible and what we can already achieve, and maybe that can boost the future of driving cars.